Yeah, I started again, mate.
Holidays. No, that's like. Yeah, I need 2 weeks to actually have it. Doing my OSCP. What? I don't. What up? I let him use it. Very much done. 1995. Yeah, he's going to
I want to give them the motion sickness experience.
Yeah, just don't knock that.
Come on, I want to give them the motion sickness. Someone goes, can I have my tea? Rod, I love you, have my kids. Wait, this is a live stream. Come on.
Eddie, yeah, Eddie's there.
You know I got all of these. One for the yeah. But you really want that guy to that's why people on one side. Presentation was saying
He's a really nice guy.
if you want some good dinner. Yeah, literally. .com/. You give me a coin. Give me one coin. Oh. Yo. Should have put my phone in. Jeez, that is great divide. She will protect you. Remember they haven't arrived. They said they're coming up. No, here's what you do. You see them Hollywood
So basically, anything
what's there? Come on, man. I hate every number of that's trying to how the whole fucking Or you could just stay there and not walk out. They're just walking across another. They thought you know if you think walk across the oh, it's such a good thing. He really looks like he just okay. I'm pretty sure we want to do this. Oh, I want to do that.
Clinton, I thought you were going to put up an FCC banner.
So lots of security engineers. What about and then this lot of walk away. Everybody questioned it. She was so mad we went back at that point.
Aaron, I'm hurt. That's right. Once Michelle's ready, we'll get underway. Michelle, everybody, please. Sit down. All right. Thank you all. Sorry for the AV issues. It's me, technology, so you can expect something like that. Yeah, I guess everyone, I think we're in for a treat tonight. Not only do you not need to listen to me for more than about 20 seconds, Alice White's going to be running the show tonight, so that's a plus already off the bat. Yeah, we've got a lot of good people here, some good prizes. We've got a movie at the end, so yeah, I'll hand over to Alice to get the show moving. So welcome, Alice.
Thank you very much, and welcome everyone to the WACTF, or Capture the Flag Awards Night, in the fourth incarnation of WACTF. So thank you so much for taking the time to come tonight. First introductions, my name is Alice White. I work at Bankwest at Commonwealth Bank. I'm the Business Information Security Officer, and really delighted to be your MC here tonight. I wanted to start and begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of this land. It's the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. I pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. I acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and their contribution they make to life of this community and the region. For some opening remarks, I'd like to introduce and welcome up a minister we have here tonight, Mr. Chris Talentine MLA, Member for Thornley and Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister for Innovation and ICT, Science, Youth. Please come on up, Chris.
Thank you, Alice, and thank you, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here. And it's just so exciting to think that we've got 350 participants, and with 300 of you being based here in Western Australia. So, you know, that level of interest in cybersecurity in general, the idea of having a competition that uses ethical hacking principles, that's tremendous. I know that's something that when I talk to friends of mine about the whole issue of the importance of cybersecurity, And the fact that so much of our government infrastructure is now dependent on a good, solid, safe, cyber secure world, it's always the issue that comes up. You know, what happens about the risk of something like the Safe WA app, which I'm sure most of us use to check in here tonight. What about the implications of somebody hacking into that? And I'm sure there'd be possibly some of you here who would know how to do that. But I like to reassure those friends of mine that actually the details, their personal details that they're only too glad to put up on Facebook or LinkedIn, that's probably of far more interest to anybody trying to get hold of their personal information than what they might have registered with the WA Safe App. But sometimes people with a civil libertarian emphasis find that a little bit challenging. The work that you've done, the skills that you are developing, this idea as well of taking a hobby, a passion, and then perhaps developing it into a career, that's a very interesting one. I know some people like to have a philosophical argument around that and say, oh, you should never let go of your hobby by turning it into a career. But I think actually it's the other way around. But if you're doing something you really enjoy doing, then it doesn't feel like work, but you get paid for it anyway. So that's always a really nice option. We know that our state's future does depend on having a strong cyber secure world. That's why in 2018, the McGowan Labor government, we created the Office of Digital Government, and that's with the state's first dedicated cyber security team. Yeah. And the various courses that we've got, the whole future of professionals in this area, it's something that's very exciting. This event, though, thank you so much to all the volunteers who have helped make it happen. Alice, to you and everyone else, it's really tricky. And I know one of the things about any community event is that we try and make it as inclusive as possible. Inclusivity, it really is important, and I know that there's still some challenges when it comes to achieving inclusivity in a lot of the science, technology, engineering and mathematics areas. But I think this event, you're really leading the way. You're making headway where some other sectors aren't. Also, the whole Capture the Flag event has been free as well, so that's another real feather in your cap, and well done for that. I understand that the Office of Digital Government, well, I did have a look to see if the Office of Digital Government was on the scoreboard. Not apparent, but I'm sure we'll work on that for next year. We've got the event being open to anyone in the state and indeed around the country. The fact that we've allowed, the first event allowed around 45 players from interstate to join us, really commendable stuff. And some other notable facts that I just wanted to highlight. This one in particular, that over 70 high school students took part in the event. So that's fantastic. So school-based teams with their classmates, supported by their teachers, many of whom I understand are here along with us tonight, so that's really good. And I think that ensuring that we have got a huge age diversity and that skills are being developed at a really young age. I was looking at the ages of participants, youngest being 12, going up to 50. Okay. Oh, so if I'd had the capacity to join at 57, I could have pushed that up a bit. But oh, sorry about that.
Next year.
So look, I don't want to stand in the way of all these wonderful prizes that we've got for the winning teams. So I'll hand back to Alice, and we'll look forward to celebrating all the wins. Thank you very much.
Okay, on with the show. But firstly, we have to tell everyone a little bit about this amazing event. If my clicker will work, maybe it's that way. No. Technical help, please.
Security, not IT.
Inviting people. Demo board in yours.
Okay, so this was last year, so we said a few of these t-shirts floating around, and this year, just to celebrate what we had in 2020 being COVID, we have our lovely squad with his mask on as well, or her mask, who knows. So it was a cozy COVID campfire edition of WACTF. So welcome to you all, and thank you again for coming along, Chris. We really appreciate the support there of the government. So firstly, we wanted also to talk about what actually is this event. I'm going to stand down here because I can't read the slides as well. And the purpose really was to celebrate and promote the WA talent in this industry. So we're really excited. We have a great community here that I've been fortunate to be part of for the last 3 years, but this community has been around a long time. They are all embracing, and I'm really proud to be part of this WA InfoSec community. So some of the strategic priorities for the event was really to increase the cyber literacy as well. So the challenges are developed and made so you can go from the beginner right through the highly advanced, which you'll hear from a highly advanced team, and how they solved and captured one of the flags later this evening. It's really to welcome new entrants to the industry as well and support those students both from high school, university, but also through to career transitioners as well. So I came out of health and safety and quality and environment. I was an auditor 3 years ago and really focused on doing this career transition because I think this is where all the cool kids are in this industry. So really proud again to be part of this. We also wanted to showcase the WA homegrown talent with the challenges to reflect what's actually used in the industry as well. So they are developed by people who are working in the industry based on things that they are seeing and hacking as well. So it's really the tactics, the tools and techniques are really relevant and current each year that we have captured the flag. We also have the big enablers, which is our code of conduct. Make sure that is well spread and everybody understands that we are inclusive, do not tolerate any harassment or discrimination there. So we formulated the code of conduct. And really the volunteers, again, I'm going to call them out a little bit later, but this could only happen with people volunteering their time and their skills. So thank you. So we're going to go through just a couple of incarnations and down memory lane. So back in 2017, it was the first one. I believe this was at UWA, and there was about 45 participants. Can you see yourself in there? There's probably people who have been here and did the first one as well. Then we moved to this back west in 2018. So we had a big pavilion here. There's a few people I can recognise. So again, just keeps on getting bigger and bigger every year. 2019, we were over in Rift by Space Cubed, and this was like one of 5 areas. So there's already a lot of people there, but we had 5 other breakout areas. People hacking across the weekend there. Way too many Red Bulls, apparently. I would go a few complaints, but they were a great sponsor. Thank you, Red Bull, that year. And then this year we moved, being COVID, to satellite and remote locations. So really lucky we had the infrastructure and the tech team pull that out of the hat this year. They were fantastic. So this is in the CBD, which is Murdoch CBD campus across with Space Cubed. So this was one of the big areas, and again, lots of breakout rooms. I think we had about 10, 15 breakout rooms. And then we also had the satellite at ECU, which was awesome. Thank you to ECU for allowing us to have that satellite and remote, just so we could get people together again, because it is really important to have that team face-to-face when you're doing these challenges. So some more photos. So yeah, I love Dave's scones there. I just had to put that photo. Yeah. So what it was 2 days of hacking, which it is every year for the last 4 years. We had 52 challenges this year on a range of different, from web forensics, exploitation, crypto, incident response, and some miscellaneous goodness. Throw it in there in the bag, usually by the doctors, I think. The 101 session was also run by the doctors as well. Hi.
Yeah!
Thank you. That is a great introduction, again, to get more people and new entrants into the industry. We had a whole lot of fun. Yes, we did have lots of pizza, but we also had carrot sticks. I cut them up on the Saturday morning, so I can attest to that they were actually there. Yeah, so we had something healthy. And we had a whole lot of fun. So through the years, and this year, we were just shy of 400 registrations, and 350 of those competed. We're up to 78 high schoolers and about 110 at the end. So really aiming, maybe we can double that again. We do exponential. I don't know. You're laughing. It's going to happen. Okay, so 2020 stats. We had unlimited capacity pretty much, and we wanted to make sure that our friends, especially on the East Coast, who were suffering a bit more through COVID with lockdowns and that, could actually participate as well, which was awesome. But just to note, this is a WA talent enabler, so we made sure that the prizes are actually only for WA-based teams as well, again, to keep that focus on WA. So we had heaps of remote, 113, and then interstate we had 46. What else have we got there? I am a big advocate for diversity in this industry, gender being one of the elements of diversity and inclusion, and we doubled the amount of female competitors this year, which I'm really awesome. It was fantastic to see so many ladies' faces in the audience there. So we had 212 male, and we had 131 that did not disclose, which is cool. But we want to improve that ratio of male to female again next year and keep on adding to that. 257 provided their age, like Chris mentioned. We had from 12 to 50 median age, and average age being around the 30 and 25 mark, and so many union TAFE students and others that weren't quite eligible for prizes in the end there as well. I'm going to invite Sam up now to talk to you about the tech stacks. He is the man of the infrastructure.
Thanks, Alice. I'm not sure if this is working. Oh, yeah, it is. Hey, so my name is Sam, and I was the tech lead for this year's WACTF. WACTF started literally in our office back at Hyphen in 2017. My boss, Aaron, came to me and he said, "Hey, you reckon you can build like a capture the flag competition for like all of Western Australia?" And I was like, "Oh, yes, boss. Oh, yeah, okay, we can do it." And here we are. So it has certainly grown a lot over that time. Particular things to note that happened this year that were different from last year, obviously, our preference to have sort of an online first game and accept people from eastern states. That was a first for us. We also moved from DigitalOcean to Google Cloud. The reason for that was DigitalOcean used to be a sponsor for us. And then last year, we outscaled their Singapore data center, and so they chose not to sponsor us again. Thankfully, Google said, "Hey, look, yeah, we'll give you about 800 Australian dollars to convince you to come move your game onto our platform." Very thankful that they didn't have their global outage on the weekend. So we were lucky in that regard. We used to have a disaster recovery site in India. This year we decided, what's the chances that Google will go there? Holy. Yes, so we hosted on Kubernetes, which is a container orchestration platform. We used that last year as well in DigitalOcean. The idea is that every single team has their own set of challenges. So if they break their own challenges, they won't break other teams' challenges. And we essentially make a gold master or production ready instance of that one team, and then we multiply it over for as many teams that are playing. So this year we did that 190 times. Even though we only had 167 registered teams, we wanted to have a bit of a buffer there in case we had late registrations and stuff. Or rather, we had 167 teams that actually played. We had a few more that were actually registered. So from an infrastructure perspective, the CPUs that we used this year basically doubled from last year. We used 537 virtual CPU cores on Google Cloud. which is the equivalent of almost 1.3 terahertz of CPU power, which is insane. We did better on our RAM usage this year. Because this was going to be so expensive for us, we had to spend a lot more time with our container constraints and making sure that we weren't wasting resources so that we could scale out and it still be relatively affordable. So we used 300 gigabytes of RAM, which came to costing us about $600 Australian a day, and which would be 18.6 grand a month if we happen to run WACTF for a little longer. In the end, our bill came to about $1,300, like after already subtracting the $800 that Google gave us. We used most of that in the sort of development stages of WACTF. I think that's about all I wanted to say on this side, so I'll hand it back to Alice, and I'll be up in a couple more slides, I think.
Yes, you will. Thank you. It's an amazing feat what they did and what they do every year. Now, if you see your name on this slide, can you please stand up as part of Alice's emceeing? Yes, you need to have audience participation. Thank you. And in the other cinema, I really hope that you were able to stand up as well. This would not be possible without all of these people doing what they do best, using their work and actually translating it into a game for those people new in the industry. So thank you so much. We may have missed a few, hopefully apologies. But yes, thank you again for your time and commitment, and see you again next year for more and more challenges. And then on the day and the event, volunteers as well. So again, audience participation, please stand up if your name is on that slide. Oh, there we go. So,
Where are they?
hopefully they're in the other room. But on the day we're there at 8:30 in the morning, all the way through. There's someone there supervising, supporting the kids. Really, thank you very much to the satellite officers and Michelle for gathering all your people at Joondalup and making that happen last minute. Well, in the lead up weeks when we decided to have it on site. So round of applause for these volunteers. Okay, also this would not be possible without the financial support and also the talented individuals from these powered by sponsors. So this year we had Trustwave, CyberCX, AustCyber, Kinetic IT, Office of Digital Government, Bankwest, and Murdoch by SpaceCube. So big round of applause. Thank you so much. There's representatives from all of those companies here tonight. So please, if you're looking to get into the industry, this is one of those springboards events to make contacts as well in the industry. And also we are forever grateful to the supporters of the event. At the next level of sponsorships, we had ECU, B-Sides, Offensive Security, Pentester Lab, and WACON. Thank you. They are a heavy part involved in the massive prize pool that we have coming up that I can't wait to give out all of those prizes as well to the winning teams, the top teams. Okay, now there's a few, before we get on to the winners, I'm just going to give you a little bit of the logistics. Hopefully not too many of the winning teams are in the other cinema because that might be weird. But what we're going to do is we're going to invite Chris back up, and we're going to have you, I think, down, on this side of the stage. Now, we don't shake hands during COVID times. We're going to do some elbow bumps. Please do not come down this side because we've got some wires and some health and safety. I put that hat on, what I used to do. You're going to come down this side. And elbow bump and collect your prizes. Now, the other thing about the prizes is there's been a few delays in the delivery of some of the items. So please, if you don't get your whole prize, we promise to let you know about the collection point in the future, where that might be. Trust us, everything's coming. We've got Trustwave involved, so it's all good. Okay. So here we go. Now, this is the scoreboard. I just wanted to reflect on that for a moment. And the winning team in the last 2 hours, holding back some flags and jumping up there. But this is for every hour over the Saturday and Sunday. Okay, fourth place, Port 22 Pirates. Come on down. Each of our prize winners are going to have a photo that Rami is kindly going to take. So we want you underneath with that elbow bump. That's great.
Oh, give me the elbow bump. Don't hold back.
So what this team is going to get is 3 months of the Pen Tester Lab subscription each, and a Bust Pirate version 3.6 with some test books there as well. Congratulations. Yeah. Okay, in third place, More Flags Than the UN. I love this name. Here we go. Okay, if you're going to come this way, just be careful. Go elbow bump.
Yep.
So this is our actually top performing high school team, but we had to give them third place because they won the overall competition, or they came third in the overall competition. So big round of applause.
Sorry. Are you coming this side or?
Totally organised.
The great cable.
So yeah, they got way more flags than the UN with 2,705 points, and they've got a 3-month subscription to Pen Tester Lab, Cactus Wi-Fi HID injector, and some Logic Analyzer clone. I'm not going to say that brand name because you can't pronounce it nice. Well done.
Say it like.
A little bit. This is cool tech, just in case.
Sorry guys. Jump back up with
I'm going to get a t-shirt.
Alright, scooch in a bit. I don't want the webcam in the photo. take like a step this way.
That's not COVID safe.
There we go.
Congratulations, high school team. And in second place we have Wide Sprite. There we go, coming down from the back there. 25 scored 3,335 points, heaps of flags there. They have unlocked 12-month subscription to the Pen Tester Lab. Tickets to B-Sides in next year. Tickets to WACON 2021. It's happening. Yeah! It's happening, okay? Crop Smart 3 clones, some Pick Pals intro sets, and
I'm just going to hand all that over. We're going to figure it out. Just let's have a fight till this. Nice.
Ready?
Awesome, congratulations. Okay. Of prizes there. Enjoy, guys. Okay, so the next one up is our winning high school team. Hopefully there's some of you here. PID 1337. PID elite. Congratulations, guys. Okay, hold up. Thank you. Thank you. So these guys are going to get tickets to WACON. They are going to get Wami Powerbank Pro and tickets to B-Sides. It's all happening next year as well. Okay, thank you. Well done. Okay, and the winning team. This year, yes, keep going for that. Drum roll. Thank you. Go. 60 more big yes, God. 1,025. This is one of the biggest prize pools and packs we've had for first place. So I really hope you guys enjoy. I assume you're all over 18. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you get your OSCP certification attest.
What side?
Scooch
Scooch in. Don't need a webcam in it. Can't get any closer.
First prize is donated by Cyber. Thank you very much. They get some Hack Prize essential kits. I saw those when we bought those online. Pentester Lab subscription. You get these big ass monitors down here. Take home. B-sides, whack-on tickets, and a power bank as well. So, public talk is to take monitors, but bring them up. Yeah. You know where they are. Sorry. Need it lost that opportunity, otherwise it didn't happen.
Screeching.
You can do one more slide, next slide. There we go.
There we go. One more round of applause for our first place winners. One of the first teams to rock up, and I went in on Saturday morning, and they were there and they were keen. Took over, I think, their own little space first. Picked out a little room. Obviously, it was a good room. Maybe want to go there next year. Winning room. Yep. Okay. Okay, there was a walkthrough of one of the challenges, but we are very short on time. Can we do it well? Do you want to? We don't have to, we can skip it. 2-minute version. That would be awesome, guys.
Just use one line.
Just talk.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, I'll start. Wait,
It's on.
So with Web 5, I guess, it was basically an SSRF, so server-side request forgery. You could go on the website and you could, so this was a website essentially. And if you go to the next slide, so
Bunch of links didn't work. Yeah, login, registration, didn't do anything. Cool.
So there was a specific page where you could put in an invoice. Basically, you could have like a service name, a company name, some stuff about like the price of stuff. And yeah, so once you fill it out, if you go, you click the send button, you can get an invoice created. And we had to fuzz the website for this. We have to use Durbuster, I think, to define where the invoice was.
Well, the invoice came to you, and you have to push the thing. So you find it after submitting the request, and you'll see it. Next slide. Catch it, see what's being posted. Postman Pat loves it. Great, good to go.
Yeah.
I don't know what's next. Cool. Yeah, you fuzz it. It makes them real sad sometimes, but that's a good thing because then you can know what you can get away with. You have a negative. Great, sweet. Eventually, you can start doing cool stuff like the hack source. And yeah, so that's.
Yeah, that's the SSRF essentially. So you had the service field in the invoice was vulnerable to HTML injection. So you could inject any HTML script tags, iframe tags, etc. And that's a proof of concept. Essentially, it's pointed to itself. And yeah, so next, yes. And that's what you would get. So the website wasn't actually hosted on port 80. It's the internal Docker IP was 8080. We figured that out later. But yeah, so that was the iframe injection in or HTML injection in the PDF. So
anyway, you can see that's what's running in the background. You just grab the grab from Netcat, you point it like, hey, grab my website, listen, sweet, that's what's running in the background. We looked up like quick, easy hacks. I don't think there was any really relating to this, but it was cool to figure out. I mean, it's definitely relevant actually. So we're just doing dumb shit at this point. Funnily enough, was it Gilligan's Island last year? Yeah. Shout out to that challenge. I had that burned in my brain. SSRF, you do a port scan. So that's been burned in my brain.
Unfortunately, though, we couldn't actually do this port scan.
Yeah, so the way it was set up, right? If you were to port scan, you have to wait for the PDF to generate every single time, which would leave like 15 seconds times however many ports you want to scan. But last year, the port was 1337. So I was like, there's no way. There's no way it's not a port that's guessable or actual, right? So we ended up. Cool, quick one. how to actually solve it anyway. So yeah, we ended up literally across 2 hours between the team. Bro, just hit it. I was like, in the background, we were trying to find other ways to do it. But yeah, anyway, the actual way to solve it was you can grab JavaScript. So the script tags, you have 37 characters. So if you were to grab an actual file from your website, sometimes the extension would push you past the 37 characters, which made it a bit of a challenge, but it is possible. The proof of concept's there. But you can also, another proof of concept, you mentioned a domain name, whoever wrote it. Anyway, you can get a just web shell A/A, you can remove the slashes, and it worked. I don't know. We got it, yeah. So that's the actual solve, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we just get the port, so that
Okay, is this microphone working? Maybe not.
Yeah. Okay.
So that part where you're explaining it is just as important, really, to be able to remediate any vulnerabilities that you find when you're in the real world, in an industry. So that's great. You guys can put that together and actually explain how you did it and how it would be solved or remediated in the real world as well. It's a really important pen tester skill. So last year's winners, unfortunately, due to our old mate COVID, didn't get to go over to Canberra B-Sides, which is an awesome event. I've only been once, but can't wait to get back there. So AusCyber was the first prize, sponsored by AusCyber. So they will be rebooked to go to B-Sides Canberra in 2021, which is fantastic news. So that was our Hack Back team. That had to pause and we had to hold their prize for a year. I'm glad, yeah, you're still getting that opportunity as well. It's amazing. And B-Sides Perth and WACTF have said that they will be on in 2021, so look forward to seeing you all there as well. Okay, take that, COVID. Moving on, I'm going to invite Sam back up here just for almost the wrapping up of the awards.
Thanks, Alice. I'll be quick on this one. So next year, maybe scratch that year, like next time, who knows what we'll do it next year. No promises, right?
Jaded.
Yeah, but hey, next year we want to scale even more. Obviously, we want more West Australia players, and I suspect that given the success of this one, other people in the eastern states will want to play next year as well. If they hadn't heard about WACTF before. So we need to improve our container efficiency to allow a more cost-effective way of scaling. $600 a day is fine for a 2-day event for 400 people, but if we had 1,000 people, that suddenly becomes like fairly challenging. Strengthen our defense in depth strategy to support more shellable containers, so more cooler challenges where you can actually pop shells on them. And potentially even having some sort of priv-esque stuff internally in challenges. It's all, it's possible potentially, no promises. Supporting players reverting their own challenges, that will definitely be a thing next year. Yeah, so that when Clinton delivers us a dodgy challenge that needs reverting every couple of minutes, players will be able to do that themselves. Bringing back the AD environment. Good luck, Cameron. Woo! Hey, and we'll probably have more challenges. Potentially extending the game hours a little bit. So I know that the idea was that the game would go offline at 5 p.m. on the Saturday and come back online at 9 a.m. the next day. If you did stick around, you will notice that that it never went down. You could have kept playing those container challenges at 1 a.m. in the morning. That was because I had to leave and I was the only person with the credentials to take the game offline. So I wasn't around, so the game just stayed up. But it was a pretty good proof of concept because the game didn't break horrendously. Nothing really too bad actually happened. So it does pave the way for a future WACTF where we may actually extend the hours in which you can play around in the game. Because with more challenges, you're probably going to want a little bit more time. And I believe that is it. I'll pass you back to Alice.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, really looking forward to next year. Hope you guys are excited for next year as well. And if you're interested in getting involved in the industry, I highly recommend you to check out some of these. So Sec Talks, which I think might be tomorrow,
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
night.
Yeah, tomorrow. Sec Talks Christmas party.
Sec Talks Christmas party tomorrow. Okay, then go to SEO.org/Perth. B-Sides, WACON, General Security, but ACE, Australian Information Security Association. Stodom, which is only for 18 plus, it's the drinking club for cyber in Perth. The second Thursday of the month club. AWSN, which is Australian Women in Security Network. I am one of the 3 Perth chapter leads for that. We get together for a breakfast, wine and cheese, sharing, encouraging more women and networking women in the cybersecurity industry across Australia as well. We're just about to hook up with a New Zealand version of the Women in Security Network, which is fantastic. Our friends across the Tasman. We've got ISACA, and also if you want to have a look at the OS Cyber Network and all the cool things that they do to support startups in the cyber and really building that export market for amazing things in cyber. So that brings us to the very end. Hack the Planet. Thank you again for coming. Thank you to the volunteers. Thank you to the supporters. Thank you to the sponsors. Enjoy the movie.
There's still money on the if you need it.
Yeah, we